Before we extend an offer to a new employee, we have a responsibility, not just legally, but ethically, to ensure that the candidate is a safe and appropriate fit for the workplace. Background checks help us make informed decisions and protect our teams, our clients, and the organization as a whole. In this video, we're diving into the critical role background checks play in preventing negligent hiring and supporting responsible HR practices. Negligent hiring happens when an employer fails to conduct reasonable background checks and hires someone who later causes harm that could have been prevented with proper screening. As HR professionals, our duty is to reduce risk by verifying information, confirming qualifications, and ensuring candidates meet safety and compliance expectations. Effective screening protects the organization and everyone who interacts with it. Background checks come in many forms, and each serves a different purpose based on the demands of the role. Selecting the right checks ensures we're evaluating candidates fairly and consistently while staying aligned with legal guidelines. Here are 3 of the most common checks organizations rely on. A credit check can provide helpful insight when a role involves financial decision-making, budgeting, cash handling, or fiduciary responsibility. But because credit history is sensitive and highly regulated, the Fair Credit Reporting Act requires us to obtain written permission before accessing this information. When used appropriately and only when job-related, credit checks can help us assess whether a candidate is prepared to manage financial responsibilities without undue hardship. Criminal background checks help evaluate whether a candidate is appropriate for roles with safety-sensitive responsibilities, such as security positions or jobs involving children or vulnerable populations. These checks are also governed by the FCRA, meaning we must follow specific procedures when using them. If we decide not to move forward with a candidate based on criminal history, we must provide written notice and allow time for clarification or correction. This ensures fairness, transparency, and compliance. When driving is essential to the job, such as delivery roles, transportation services, or field-based positions, a motor vehicle record check helps confirm that a candidate can safely perform those duties. This type of check should only be used when directly relevant to the role, ensuring we maintain fairness while protecting workplace and public safety. Even well-intentioned background checks can unintentionally disadvantage certain groups if we're not careful. For example, credit scores, often shaped by systemic inequities, tend to be lower for Black and Latino applicants. This means a credit check used without clear justification could unintentionally screen out qualified candidates. As HR professionals, we must use consumer reports thoughtfully, ensuring every step of the process is equitable, consistent, and firmly grounded in job relevance. Investigative consumer reports take the screening process a step further by gathering information about a candidate's reputation and character, typically by contacting colleagues, neighbors, or associates. Because of their depth and sensitivity, these reports require explicit written consent and must follow strict FCRA guidelines. When used properly, they provide a more holistic understanding of a candidate, but they should always be handled with care and transparency. Negligent referral occurs when a former employer omits critical information about a candidate, leading another organization to hire someone under false assumptions. As HR professionals, we must share factual, job-related details during reference checks without offering personal opinions or recommendations. The good news, when we provide truthful, relevant information, the qualified privilege doctrine protects us from defamation claims. When implemented intentionally and ethically, background checks are an invaluable part of responsible hiring. They protect employees, strengthen workplace culture, and ensure that the individuals we bring into the organization are aligned with both the role and the environment.